welcome into the Remix. I'm Brianna Pitts. The unofficial start of summer, Memorial Day, is just a weekend away, and we are gearing up for the heat wave and vacation time here on the Remix. To help you find a great place to go in June, July, and August, Paula Evans spoke with Yankee Magazine's Amy Traverso to talk summer hotspots.
Well, the weather's getting warmer. Graduations and prom season are here. Definitely time for summer. And what better way to get ready for the summer months than with Amy Traverso from Yankee Magazine. Great to see you again.
Great to see you too.
Thanks for coming in and coming here to talk about all of these locations in New England we might not think about when we're thinking about vacation time.
Yes.
We tend to go to the same spots.
Yes,
we're traditionalists, right? So let's talk about some of your choices from each state and what is your selection for Massachusetts?
Okay, so among more than 200 sort of best of New England picks, we love the Bistro Box in Great Barrington. This is one of those situations where two CIA-trained chefs decide to open a seasonal snack bar, and they just make everything perfect, right? So it's like the best burger you've ever had, the best fish tacos you've ever had, the best ice cream sundaes you've ever had. So I just love that. It's like they took their high-end skills, but they're cooking very accessible food.
Yes, and by CIA, we mean Culinary Institute of America. They weren't spies. Turned chefs. But those must be delicious items if they decided to focus in on doing them really well.
Yeah, like
that
you
sounds
take those
great.
chef's gifts and perfect the burger.
Yeah. Okay, what about, we don't think of going into the city in the summer, but it's so beautiful. What about a tour?
So Boston Chinatown tours, I really believe everyone, whether you live here or you're a visitor, should take this tour. This woman, Jacqueline Church, she's lived in the neighborhood for decades. Her husband's Chinese. She has this incredible sort of insider-outsider perspective on the neighborhood. She's completely devoted to it. And not only does she take you to great restaurants, you have dim sum, you go to a bakery, you go to a barbecue spot, but also to a traditional Chinese medicine shop and to a supermarket. And she sort of shows you ingredients that you may or may not know. And so it's a deep understanding of the neighborhood, but filled with delicious bites and so much fun.
That must be great. And we can't take it for granted. Some big major American cities have lost their Chinatown. It doesn't exist anymore.
Yes.
Which would be unthinkable for Boston. So
and ours is a rich, vibrant neighborhood.
It's a great idea.
Yeah.
And there's always time for pizza, of course. Now, New Haven pizza is a thing, right? It's its own category, and you say there's a great place in New Haven.
Okay, so we love the Worcester Street pizza, Sally's and Pepe's. We love all of them. This one's a little different. This is Zanelli's, and it's a little bit of a controversy because their website says, finally good pizza comes to New Haven.
That's a shot.
So these are some brothers who learned the pizza making craft in Naples, Italy, and so they're a master pizzaiolo, and so they're making Neapolitan style. Now, I love both. New Haven is sort of an American version of Neapolitan. These are more classic Neapolitan. I think they're both fantastic, but it's nice to have some, options in New Haven, and Zanelli's is great.
Good to stop in New Haven for pizza. And what's summer without ice cream?
Ice cream. Oh my
New Englanders love their ice cream.
We do.
And it's always a big battle. So where do you think is the spot to go?
So Super Secret Ice Cream in Bethlehem, New Hampshire is so good that the James Beard Awards, which are the Oscars of the food world, they've named them a finalist in the bakery category, which is basically, this ice cream is so good it needs an award, but we don't have an ice cream category, so we'll put it in bakery. I mean, it's that good. You never see
It's got the eggs, the butter, the sugar. So
everything is local, the cream, the milk. They do flavors, incredible flavor combinations. They have one called Honeyberry, which is a rare sort of blueberry variant that this one farmer in New Hampshire grows, and they buy it all from him, and they make this incredible tart blueberry ice cream. I mean, this place is fantastic. They make the cones, they make the base for the ice cream. Everything is fresh, delicious, so worth seeking out if you're in the White Mountains.
It sounds like it's worth a drive.
Absolutely.
It's like when you suddenly have lavender ice cream and you realize, of course this is delicious.
Yes.
For relaxation and exercise, interesting choice in Maine.
Yes, Dory Woman Rowing is this business that I had the joy of doing last summer when we were filming our show Weekends with Yankee. I went out with this woman, Nicole Luttrell, who's a registered Maine guide. And a dory is basically a rowboat, and it was at one time the station wagon of the coast, right? It was. It's very easy to maneuver. You can move stuff in it. It's actually quite comfortable to row. And Nicole teaches you how to row, takes you out in Belfast Harbor. And the abundance of wildlife in the harbor, we saw seals, we saw flying fish, we saw all kinds of birds. It was so peaceful and beautiful. It's a way to experience everything you love about Maine from a quiet, a quiet boat as opposed to being on a motorboat.
Exactly, yeah.
And it's great exercise, but it feels really good. It's not overly strenuous.
Beautiful.
Just such a great way to spend it.
Yeah, if you see people who row, they are ripped.
Yes.
I mean, that is a great workout.
But you
no
don't have
question
to be an
about
athlete
it.
to do it.
Yeah, this would be a beautiful spot to see nature from.
Yeah.
And of course, nothing says cheese like Vermont.
Yes.
So if you're going to Vermont and you're going to zero in on a cheesemonger, who would it be?
The Vermont Cheesemakers Festival. Imagine all the best cheesemakers coming to one place. So it's at Shelburne Farms on August 10th. Shelburne Farm is one of the most beautiful places in New England. It's right on Lake Champlain. It's an old Vanderbilt family estate. And you're sampling the most delicious foods, the most delicious beers, the most delicious sweets. It's so worth it, but get your tickets now because it sells out.
I would say, yeah, if you're a cheesehead and you're not from Wisconsin, but you want Vermont cheese, that sounds great.
Yes.
And everybody has their favorite summer sunset. I'll tell you mine in a minute on the Cape, but what's yours?
So Castle Hill Inn in Newport is an incredibly beautiful and somewhat exclusive Relais and Chateau property right on the water. And whether you can afford a room there or not, you can still enjoy it because they have sunset cocktails on the lawn. You get this gorgeous view of the sun going down, Newport Harbor, sailboats going by. It is so peaceful. A lot of Adirondack chairs on the lawn. You can order a drink, a cocktail, and just sit and enjoy it. You don't have to even be a guest of the hotel.
It's magical. My husband and I did this last September.
You did?
Just for a drink and to look at the boats. It is a magical spot.
It's incredible. And the way the sun sets, it sort of comes, it like backlights all the sails on the boats. They're all glowing. It's really something out of another world.
So one of those Gilded Age paintings.
Yes.
My favorite sunset spot on the Cape is Mayflower Beach, but that's pretty predictable.
I love Mayflower.
So, Amy Traverso from Yankee Magazine. Great ideas and lots of activities we haven't heard of before. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a wonderful summer.
And have a fantastic summer.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Well, we've got much more to come. How the Trump tariffs are affecting local businesses who get their parts from China. Plus, amazing gluten-free options always on the menu. Burtons Grill and Bar is here to show us what they have to offer this Celiac Disease Awareness Month. Tariffs have been top of mind for many businesses around Massachusetts. A Somerville 3D printing business has all of its equipment coming from China. WBZ's Logan Hall visited the company's headquarters to see how the tariffs have affected the business and what happens now.
Inside this machine is the future of manufacturing.
We make them for all sorts of different types of professional users of 3D printers, everything from a startup developing a new hardware product to Apple or Tesla, to even dentists who are making patient-specific parts like dentures and night guards.
Formlabs is a cutting-edge 3D printing company based in Somerville and founded by Max Lebowski. The company designs, builds, and sells innovative 3D printers. But behind the innovation, there's a constant challenge: tariffs. Formlabs produces its machines in China, placing the company in the eye of the storm of the U.S.-China trade war.
It discourages long-term planning. Long-term planning, long-term investment, that's what grows the economy for everybody. But we cannot do long-term planning right now because everything is changing constantly.
Today, the White House announced an agreement between the U.S. and China that will temporarily roll back tariffs for 90 days.
The talks in Geneva were very friendly. The relationship is very good. We're not looking to hurt China. China was being hurt very badly. They were closing up factories. They were having a lot of unrest. And they were very happy to be able to do something with us.
And while Max is optimistic, he knows the road ahead is still uncertain. He hopes this agreement will lead to a final deal, but he's also aware that tariffs could redefine how Formlabs operates in the long term.
If the tariffs stay as they were prior to this morning, then it would be a significant hit to our cost of goods sold. We probably would move some manufacturing to different locations. I'm not sure that it would result in more manufacturing coming back to the U.S.
For Max and other business owners in his position, it's the uncertainty that's the hardest part, posing the question, how can you plan for the future when the rules keep changing? In Somerville, Logan Hall, WBZ News.
Well, it's Celiac Disease Awareness Month, and Burtons Grill and Bar is committed to accommodating people with food allergies. We want to welcome Chef Eric LeBlanc to the WBZ Studios, Culinary Director of Burtons. Eric, thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
We're excited to have you, excited to see all of the different options at Burtons. Before we get into the celiac portion here, tell us, why is it so important for Burtons to accommodate people who cannot have gluten?
You know, I think it's super important that we accommodate people that don't have the gluten intolerance and issues and allergens in general, because it's a safe atmosphere, but also, you know, it's our goal to provide great food and, you know, great experience. So it's important that we're keeping everyone safe, but delivering on the good.
I have celiac disease. I found out 5 or so years ago, and it's a major life change, right? And it's really hard to go out to dinner. There's a lot of anxiety around it. Like you mentioned, you want to know that what you're eating is safe, because the consequences are not good. And so it's just really nice when you have a restaurant who kind of puts all of the time and the effort into dedicating to making sure people are safe. Can you talk about some of the things? You said you had separate areas that you prepare things and whatnot.
Of course, yeah. We go to real extremes to make sure that you're going to have a safe experience, you know, to separate different plates so we can identify the food, to, you know, separate gluten-free products along with the procedures, tools, equipment, you know, cards, how we identify things. So it's really important. The color tools, so we really go beyond to make sure that you're going to have a safe experience.
Yeah. Okay, so you brought in some dishes for us today. I know we're really excited about the desserts here because you guys are teaming up with Boston Children's Hospital this May.
Yeah, so last year we teamed up for the first time, and we gave a portion of our proceeds from our desserts, our gluten-free desserts, to their program. And then last year we were able to give $40,000. So this year our goal is $50,000 through a portion of our proceeds of our desserts sold this month. So right here we have a couple of our desserts. We have our classic key lime pie. We have our chef's cheesecake right now with a little bit of salted caramel. And then our 7-layer chocolate cake with raspberry and hot fudge and a little sea salt on top.
And you were saying that when you have this stuff on the menu, you don't even identify, like the cake, for example, as gluten-free on the menu because
it's so good you don't need to.
It's so good you don't need to. So I'm going to take a bite of this as we continue to talk here. And again, a portion of the dessert proceeds is going to Children's Hospital, and they're doing the research at the Celiac Foundation.
Yes, and that's why we are excited. Like I said, this means a lot for our company and our restaurant, you know, the allergen and celiac. So we wanted to make sure that we could team up with someone, and you know, it was a great partnership, and we're really happy that we were able to donate last year and this year as well.
What's the feedback that you get from people when they come into Burtons and they see that they have so many different options on a menu? Sometimes when you're celiac, you walk in, you're like, okay, all I can have is a grilled chicken salad, and it's not a fun dining experience.
You can tell. You can see the look in their face that they, it's like, finally, I found the place that I can have options, and I don't have to have the same boring food. So it's really important. It's really nice. And then, you know, as I go around, because we are from New Hampshire down to Florida for all our restaurants, and the guest feedback that I hear, how much they love Burtons, you know, so nice that my daughter can go there and have different options in food. So it really means a lot, as you know, as a chef, that I'm able to nourish and feed people, you know, safely and well.
Yeah, what do you think the biggest misconception? I feel like people always think gluten-free food, that's terrible. That's the first thing someone always says to me. They go, "Oh, you poor thing. That must be terrible." And well, yes, it is. But people also don't realize that how many foods are also naturally gluten-free too that we can really make good use of.
I think as we've gone, you know, in time and learned more about this and having more options, not just for food and ingredients, but also understanding, you know, the hows and whys behind it, what it does to your body. I think people are making more choices, which now opens up for more demand of this product and stuff. And in the beginning, yes, it was a challenge because there wasn't really a lot of good ingredients to use or to make good products. So, but now it's amazing what they have out there that you can't even tell the difference if I put two side by side next to you.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, this cake, you can't tell at all. It's excellent. Chef, thank you so much for coming in and sharing the dishes with us. Go check out Burtons Grill and Bar the month of May and help them give back to Boston Children's Hospital here for the Celiac Care Program. Thank you so much, Chef.
Thank you.
Coming up on the Remix, a singer who has a song inspired by the Paramount show Yellow Jackets and how it just went viral on TikTok. Plus, we speak with Georgie and Mandy's first marriage actress, Emily Osment, and what she thought about the hit show's first season. Well, Well, she is a rising star on the music scene, and she just performed here in Boston at Cafe 939. Susannah Joffe currently has a viral hit on TikTok, Die Your Daughter, a song she says is inspired by the Paramount show Yellow Jackets. We talked to her about that and her new music.
The focus track of my EP is called Antler Queen, which is in reference to this TV series called Yellow Jackets. But I made that decision because I'm a huge Yellow Jackets fan, and also like kind of as a gift to my fans, because I think like there's a lot of crossover between that fandom and mine, and it kind of felt like a fun way to give a little wink and nod to something we all enjoy. I think that's like the most I've done of kind of like crossing that fourth wall. But yeah, I think artists are kind of maybe shying away from that more, because I think it's like you can smell it on a song, you know, when it's like clearly been made for socials. Literally, because my song Die Your Daughter, like I think the reason it's at like 15 million streams is because of like largely because of that show and The Last of Us and Arcane. And I'm like, okay, so who's gonna hit me up about having this song on the show?
That's what I was thinking. Are you gonna be on the show? That'd be awesome.
Yeah, that's like, that would be, if you're watching this, hit my line.
So you just released a new single called Call Me Pretty.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about that.
The story behind this, I probably can't fully say, but basically I had this experience 3 years ago that left me just feeling very kind of used, I would say. And then I wrote this song and kind of just threw it on the back burner because I was like, this is so dramatic, like whatever. And then like 6 months ago, I was going through old voice memos and old demos, and I was like, wait, this song is actually like eats in a crazy way. And so I kind of reworked it and rewrote parts of it. And it's just like I wanted something that production wise was so rich and really like put you in the visual world I'm building, which is kind of this like dirty Texas mixed with like the femininity of like Dallas pageant, whatever, all mixed together. And I feel like this song really does that.
More to come on the remix. We talked to actress Emily Osment about the hit sitcom Georgie and Mandy's first marriage and why she thinks the show has found such success. Well, it is one of the most popular shows on television, Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage, and that airs on our parent company, CBS and Paramount. Producer Leah and Zana had the chance to speak to star Emily Osment about the show's first season, which just wrapped up.
So this show has so far gotten such a great reception, and it's been renewed for a second season. What do you think it is about this show and these characters that resonates so much with viewers?
You know, that's a good question. I think it's a combination of a lot of different things. The family dynamic on this show, I think, is pretty authentic and is very relatable. I also think 1994 was a really good time, maybe a little better than what we're dealing with now. And people like to turn on the TV and sink into that.
Great. And unlike the prequel Young Sheldon, Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage is filmed with a multicam setup and a live audience. What's the significance of this to you, and how does it affect the overall experience of filming?
Yeah, it's definitely different. I mean, The Big Bang Theory was a multicam, which is very different from a single cam, which is how we shot Young Sheldon. And now we're back to multicam. And it basically means we get to perform our show live in front of 180 people every Tuesday night. And that adds so much to our show. It adds so much to our performance. And it's really fun. It's like doing a play.
From where did you draw the inspiration when creating the character of Mandy? Are there any female characters or maternal figures in your own life that influenced you when you were bringing Mandy's personality to life?
Oh man, I mean, I cannot take credit for Mandy's personality or the way she is written. I mean, that's all our writers' room. That's Chuck Lorre, that's Steve Milaro, and Steve Holland. These are people that have wives, have strong wives, and I think a lot of it was probably pulled from their personal life. But I just do what I'm told and do it the best I can.
Is there anything that you can tell us about season 2 in terms of Georgie and Mandy's relationship? I know you get asked about the title of the show, Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage, or do you think that it's better that we're all just surprised when season 2 comes along?
I mean, I'm still sitting in a little bit of an unknown. I mean, we've been teased with the Big Bang Theory. We know that Georgie ends up being the Tire King of Texas, Dr. Tire. but we don't know how soon he gets there. We don't know what path he takes to get there. And we also don't know with the Big Bang Theory whether he's divorced or married at that time in his life. So I think there's a lot of story to tell here, and I'm excited to see how quickly we get into that with season 2.
Yeah, well, it sounds like there's so much to look forward to with this series, and we're so excited to see how season 1 will wrap up. And Emily, thank you so much for chatting today.
Yeah, thank you so much. Nice to meet you.
And thank you for joining us. We'll be back next week for more lifestyle, community, and entertainment news.